Prx sama Boom nih. Kan bingung gua naruh duitnya di mana.
Match found.
Raur or au, itu dia. Itu dia.
Deathmatch. Warm up.
Mungkin nggak Prx 2-0? PRX Mas ini bos.
Then execute.
Duh lapar banget gua.
Fight.
Clear to engage. Weapons hot. Target 86. Target dead. Kill confirmed. I can do this all day.
PRX is back kah? Kalau dia main kayak map 3 kemarin sih, iya ya.
Dominating.
Cuman kan kita ngomongin PRX nih bos. Buset.
Four kills.
Dominating.
Lapor. Nomor gak jelas.
Obstacle
Yoi, duta PRX gua. Tinggal nunggu di sign aja nih.
Tango down.
Nggak mati. Bajunya udah 2 hari. Ya kan gua habis kemarin gua copot ya. Gak gua pakai liburan ke Makau gitu. Terus gua mandi kok.
Four kills.
Ini ngomong-ngomong tapi tembakan gua kencang banget nih bos.
Dominating. 10 kills remaining.
Real. Tajamnya gila gue.
Kill the queen. Hostile KIA.
5 kills
4
remaining.
kills. Bad guy down.
Nggak sih, gue terlalu sakit gak sih? Nggak jelas lu Astra monyet.
Cancel.
Ya Allah.
One kill remaining.
Good fight. Where to next?
Iya dong. Nggak jujur, gue pakai Logitech. Gue belum nyobain ini guys. Gue belum nyobain apa namanya? Main pakai itu. Nyoba DM sih kecil ya.
Win. It was a 2-1 situation. What do you think is gonna happen today?
I think we're gonna win today, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think we're gonna win.
But something's changed since last time. Like mood.
I think adding Batman towards the roster, making like a new environment and stuff, and sometimes teams really need to do that, you know. So I think we're gonna win today.
How important is like momentum for your team? Like obviously you've won the last couple of series in a row, and now you're like in the lower bracket. Compared to the groups, I feel like Boom was winning all their games in the groups. They're coming off a loss. You guys are coming off a lot of wins now and just looking better and better and better. So do you think that is one of the most important factors for this series, or do you think that you could get a different result? After you see teams come off a win or a loss.
I think for sure. I think our team right now is really need the momentum because in kickoff and then like the first month during the group stage, which is like last month, it's been like really rough. So I think momentum is really something that we really need today.
Yes, Aaron. Yes, Aaron.
Follow on from that. Obviously, before the last game, the team had like 2 weeks to prepare, a really, really long time.
All right.
And now they have a very, very fast turnaround where they played yesterday and they have to play again today. Do you think that momentum is on your side after having won yesterday? What would you prefer if you were down there playing? You know, do you prefer those long breaks where you have a lot more time to think and anti-strat, or do you just want to go straight back on the stage?
I think for our situation, I think we really need a break because we just changed roster, right? So we need to like have some time to fix everything. So I think probably the breaks.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense.
Well, fans should be feeling pretty good right now. You look like you're feeling good. And both coaches from both sides, Alex and Six Fingers, actually, they were your teammates at different times of your life. Who's the better teammate?
Who's the better player?
Yeah,
Who's the better player?
No, actually true. Good teammate doesn't necessarily mean better player.
Better player. It's pretty hard to say actually because I only play with Alex as a teammate probably only 6 months, but with Six Fingers I play with him for I don't know years. I think like 1 or 2 years. So it's pretty hard for me actually. It's really hard for me. It's like different players have like different
Strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's like pretty hard for me.
Tell us about Six Fingers actually. What do you like about him, or what do you hate about him?
I think he's kind of stubborn. Oh, actually, there's a similarity between Alex and Six Fingers. They both like stubborn actually.
Okay.
Is that like a coach thing? I don't know.
I think you do. I think you do have to have some stubbornness as well to be a coach or be a head coach, because you kind of want to get your way. I wanted to ask you you a little bit about double duelists. Do you think that the prevalence of double duelists for PRX is been good for you guys coming back to that kind of play style?
Yeah, I think
Gue lapar banget anjing.
single duelist stuff because I think when we run single duelist, which is Jason duelist, it's not balanced. The team is not balanced. When we run double duelist, everything is like comfortable and everything is on the flow. So I think double duelist is really suit for us because we used to play really good back then when we run double duelist. Right?
Match found.
Now, you don't have to answer this before I send you off, but I know we're seeing, different teammates all playing the controller role. Are we going to see a duelist mind freak one day?
No.
All right. Okay, well, I don't know. I wouldn't put it past you guys. Anyway, with that, thank you so much, Aaron, Mind Freak, from Paper Rex.
Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, you can see right here, we are going
Death
to have
match.
a
Warm
really
up.
short break, and when we come back, we are going to see...
Lo tadi liat ya, Kosnya nggak mau salaman, emang iya pak? Nggak lihat lagi gue.
Guys, don't go too far away.
Gue nggak lihat tadi lo. Anjing bete cok. Bete anjing coach ya. Hot scream disebarin tempat Korea jadi BC talon. Bete. Iya pak. Damn. Gue sih tajam gilanya. The fuck is happening? Berarti menang. PRX menang, PRX menang. Fix PRX menang.
I'll shut them down. Until then, survive.
Fight.
Charlie Mike, let's move.
Tapi Phantom ini lama-lama enak juga deh. Nggak tahu kenapa tapi ends. Kayak apa ya? Kayak make recon juga gitu loh. Tapi ini orang-orang kontol banget pakai vandal bacot lu anjing.
Got him. Three kills. Four kills.
Dominating.
Joker was dead. Hostile KIA. Come get some.
Prx fix ganti kom sih. Nggak mungkin something mungkin lagi. Jujur mungkin banget lagi dia main Brimstone lagi. Anjing. You know it's like just PRX things, you know.
Sky destroyed. Three kills.
Gue sih kesurupan Talon Primi ya. Jangan habis kalah.
Awesome. 3 kills. 4 kills.
Prove that they are more.
Jujur tapi lama-lama pantomnya enak ya.
Kill confirmed.
Ten kills
Obstacle
remaining.
removed. Got him.
Tuh apaan ya? Apaan gue ngepick kayak gitu, gue yang menang tuh apaan?
Five kills remaining.
Gue daftar jadi player aja ah.
Sky destroyed.
One kill remaining.
3 kills. Final target.
Kalau nembaknya kayak gini. Waduh, ada boom e-sport lagi.
No rest required. Ready for redeployment.
Bukan salah gue nggak dikirimin baju boom sama sekali, jadi gue nggak bisa pakai baju boom. Gue nggak punya baju boom. Oke, gue nggak punya baju boom. Bukan salah gue. Apa ya barang? Nggak punya barang boom sama sekali gue. Emang itu dikirim Prx ya? Yeah. Menurut lo, hah? Ini belum gue pakai aja nih. Tapi baju gue beli sih. Adanya di ini. Adanya di Tokped. KW anjing baju boom. Gue nggak mau beli KW nggak sih? Ada boom itu. Born out of Mumbai tapi boomnya. Born out of Mumbai. Ada serius. Salah boom anjing gue beli. Sabar kita nge-charge ini dulu. Apa namanya? Mouse ini. Penyala ini yang Prx. Wanjay, 302 CS babi famous. FK apa sih free kick ya? Free kick Jing 3% doang. Gak bisa.
Against PRX 302 ACS, he absolutely
Damn, you
dominated
look super fine with
last
PRX jersey. I know, right, bro?
But obviously famous in the playoffs last game, he was not there.
It suits me, right? It suits me.
So far, it's death time.
Jujur Jing terlalu ganteng di sini. Menurut kalian nih sih? Ini kayak photocard
He needs to be a huge part of the team if they're gonna win.
RM gitu.
Took last time to beat Prx.
I think there's a history and a narrative there for sure that does exist, but I feel like the Ascension Grand Finals, he played very well for himself, and look, honestly, that game against...
Jujur terlalu photocard. Kalau dijual gue beli.
I've seen him overcome that kind of issue
Gue lapar
before,
banget
and
dengan
that's
gue.
why I've got some confidence in Boom today.
Yeah, he is a very experienced player. He's new to Pacific, but he's got a lot of experience there, and hopefully he can have a repeat performance today, and that's definitely what he's looking for. Now, performances that we might not want to repeat.
Terlalu Kakashi.
Poor guy.
He definitely never did.
I mean, have you you guys seen that gif of the oof meter?
Nobar kita, boy.
That is
Nobar tuh, boy.
maximum oof on the brimstone there. Like definitely don't want to
Jujur lor, gue udah lapar banget nih, gue pengen ke
That was
bawah
a
nih.
very poor game of Fracture for
0,07 KD.
And you see this dude doing something a lot right now. Even on the Yoru on Lotus.
Ini kayak Jamal Isam tau gak? Kayak Jamal kalau disuruh main nih, Mal, Fikri lagi nggak bisa main nih Mal, lu bantuin Boom ini dong, scream. Oh yaudah, ini KDA Jamal.
Breach before, you know, now this brimstone, it's like if he's not on that jet, if he's
007 NT James Bond,
That is
boy.
a fair question. I agree. He didn't look great on the initiator role, but on a brimstone, I feel
Discord
like
sama yang lain seru kayaknya.
well on that map. I'm gonna make an argument for that.
Gue
But
capek
we
ngomong,
will
Cek.
have to see today. They have played
Gue malas, gue harus
Fracture
pura-pura.
well.
Iya anjir.
And I
Ah
must
tai, nice try.
again today.
Tapi
Now
gua.
we're hearing, their head-to-head data from group stages.
Yeah, we are 1-0 for.
Iya benar. Gue kan pemain paling berpengaruh di Valo hingga saat ini. Soal waktu doang sih, pembagian waktu aja gue kurang. Gue sibuk gue. Iya gue pengen nonton diem kayak cuma gini. Anjir. Apaan tuh? Anjir, nice banget. Anjing apaan tuh? Gitu pengen gitu. Gue jadi pengen ke bawah, pengen ambil makan dulu.
And I think if you filtered PRX down to the second half of the group stage into playoffs, they would be right up there. They are a transformed team right now.
Yeah,
Gua ambil makan dulu ya.
Paper
Lapar dulu,
all
lapar
the way
dulu.
through the group stage, but you know they kept taking those maps. It
They did.
kept being close. So this was not a team that were totally down in the dumps, and we can see that from the stats. I just think it was about them clicking, finding the roles that are going to work, and getting that confidence back.
Yeah, that is. I think that's going to be a large part of it, right, for both of these squads. About that confidence, about playing to their absolute best. But historically, even beyond these stats, these teams have played before in various iterations, other teams, in scrims. So there's a lot of familiarity here.
Yeah, I think looking at the map stats, there's a lot of different ways that this veto could go, but I think you've seen both of these teams kind of banish maps they haven't had success on. Haven has been a permaban for PRX since they've been losing it. You saw Boom try to turn a trick against Gen G. It did not work. They let split through. They got slapped on that map.
Yeah, I mean, the map draft definitely is a question. They do have some overlaps here of maps that they like to play.
Yeah.
Like you said, definitely no Haven Fracture. I think Prx might still play it. I don't know.
I mean, Haven taken out, Split taken out.
Yeah,
I'm not surprised about that at all. Boom, I
Better
think
for Boom.
they've learned that from that mistake last time around against Gen G.
Yeah, I'm happy that they banned that. PRX coming in with the Lotus pick here,
Yeah.
and Boom taking it right back to Fracture after yesterday. I think that's not a surprise. We've already seen Boom beat PRX here, and obviously it did look like a little bit of a weakness yesterday.
I think PRX selecting Lotus, it's been one of their better maps. They are playing the double duelers with the Yoru. They were absolutely running circles around T1, particularly on that defensive side. They get very active on that map. And for Boom, they don't really actually have great reps on Lotus. Even though it's a map they played for a long time, even going back to Ascension Jakarta, you haven't really seen them take
Gua makan
that
sini
many
deh, gua
solid
makan
wins,
sini,
except for the
anjing.
game you saw against Global, where they absolutely destroyed them. But I really feel like, again, that's a game with an asterisk. There's been so many of these games where teams are rolling another team that doesn't even turn up to the server, and that's the win that Boom's got there on Lotus.
Yeah.
I know we're looking at Lotus data right now, but I saw Ascent, being in that decider map. That's a very interesting decider as well, given their previous performance.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Fracture and Ascent be the two maps in this series, and those are maps that they played in the group stage. You did see the 10-2 defensive half on Ascent from PRX. They were very well prepared for the Phoenix comp that Boom played, but they've now swapped back to the Yoru, which didn't work well for them against Gen G. We'll see if they stick to that when we get to that third map decider. But also, Fracture was taken by Boom last time. It's been a map that they've been quite comfortable to play, and PRX not a great performance on it yesterday. So I think that's why you see Boom just picking something that makes sense in multiple regards for themselves.
I do want to ask, do you think Boom, who's the underdog? Is Boom the underdog?
Boom are the underdogs.
Boom
I think
for
Boom
sure.
is the
Bray, gua makan dulu ya, Bray.
I think
Yeah.
after the performance,
Oh, ini
Boom
gua
had,
lapar.
it was diabolical against Gen G. We can't sugarcoat it. It was horrible against Gen G, and I think it was a hard choke.
Something
And
bikin
PRX just
Stogon
got the
sih.
back of a win, and I think we'll see it whenever we get to our predictions. When we
Jujur
get to
menurut gua
the
something
predictions.
Brimstone
I'm
lagi sih.
shocked if it's not in the way of PRX. But I think that's exactly where Boom want to be. Boom were at their best when they were the underdogs. They came in, everybody said they'd be terrible, but
Well, time for the little SEA
Hey,
reunion.
and
We're going to
Atom.
send it down to the stage to welcome Prx versus Boom.
Yang satu Lotus tapi ya, Lotus kemarin Prx sih kuatnya hancur ya. Jadi ini menurut gue Boom pede gila berarti Lotus dia kalau dia pick Lotus.
Rise Pacific. Boom Esports.
Friends, former teammates, familiar faces, but only one team survived today's playoffs. It is wild to think Prx, former champions, grand finalists, now fighting for their lives against Boom, a squad that rose from Ascension and captured the hearts
Anjay,
of
Pakel.
Pacific fans. Guys, give me an
Gak usah so imut, dos lain diem.
Let's go. Today is the
Diam,
day
diam,
for
diam.
Boom, if you ask me. They're back to being those underdogs,
Guys, makan ya,
as I
guys.
was saying before. This is where they want to be. They thrive on doubt. They thrive on the haters. And I think they're ready to show the world why they were so good in the group stages yet again today.
Now their opponents are Prx, and there are viewers newer to BCT, welcome of course, and they're wondering what the big deal about Prx is. Well, just yesterday we finally got to see a true glimpse of what Prx once was, and why so many fans have been desperately waiting to see them rise again. Now, guys, do you have to agree that Control Chaos, it started to evolve a bit?
I mean, Prx are looking the best they've looked so far this year, as far as I'm concerned. They're going from strength to strength. You're just seeing them be active, be assertive on the map. It's exactly what we want to be seeing from them. There are still some lingering role issues on certain maps, but on the maps where they've got the right approach and they've got it figured out, they are truly looking like one of the better teams in Pacific right now, and I can see why a lot of people are trusting them to make the lower bracket run into Toronto.
Now coaches are out. What? They did not just do that. Oh, I love it. They did like the double fist bump to make up for the last one there. Little reference. Coaches are very familiar with each other, Six Fingers and Coach Alex. Now this map draft, we were touching upon this earlier, very interesting. I also want to know what your predictions are coming into this match.
Oh man, I mean, about looking at the map draft, I think it really could go either way. Like, I feel like there are a lot of map drafts where I feel confident for a team. Actually, seeing an Icebox and Fracture back-to-back, I was feeling great about Talon's chance of a 2-0, and I just have no idea what I'm talking about. But this one, I actually feel like it's pretty even, to be honest. Like, I think this really could go either way.
Yeah, I have to agree. I am leaning towards the side of Boom. I did choose to predict them for today, and I think that's because what we saw against Gen G was such a one-off from them. I feel like they can perform better than this. The pressure isn't quite the same as before, so I really want to see them really deliver like we saw in my group stage.
Yeah, absolutely. And here are our predictions. You two are the only ones who chose Boom today. I do wonder
Oh, Boom dibordir ya, belakang
how,
bordir ya.
you know, how divisive this is, like as how much confidence they have in Prx today.
It comes down to a lot of recency. Prx have looked fantastic. Boom looked horrific in their game against Gen G, no doubt about it. But I think Boom is still a very solid series, a solid team rather. And I really have seen Boom have these choking issues in the past and overcome them and deliver good performances. And I have a lot of faith that they're going to be able to do that again. I think even if Boom play their best game though, there's a chance Prx will still beat them, to be honest. Prx are looking very scary right now.
I mean, for me, I'm in the same boat. I think they choked before, and I think they'll learn from that and do better moving forward. We do have the Asian compositions coming in, and no surprises really here. Over across on the side of Boom, they're playing what they know. They like this Brute Tail style on this map with Famous on that Neon.
I think PRX, we've seen multiple games of them playing this comp now. Boom are a team that has good prep and a good read, and you've seen Lotus be picked into this series. We need to see Boom respond to this aggression from PRX, particularly on the defense. They love to get active. You see them arc rows flashing, C meld, and taking duels, trying to find openers over there. You see them fake that A main control and leave something on his own. You see the rubble fights that they're able to win every time. How will Boom deal with that in this first half? Because they are a momentum-based team that needs to start hot here.
Yeah, my advice is slow it down. That's what they need. Don't let Prx pick up too much speed.
Yeah, definitely not. And Famous with an operator in his hand can be one way to stop the speed. Now it's gonna be Boom versus Prx
Apa anjing?
here.
Mata ada apa anjing?
All we are just passengers and along for the ride. We're gonna go track by track with this. And our casters, Achilles and Komodo, drive us straight into the chaos.
There's no driving here. The hands are off, the pedals just pressed, and we're just seeing what happens.
Where it takes us, what direction we go.
It's just like I've seen in Fight Club. Just take your hands off the wheel and flip the damn car.
Flip the car.
Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to probably be a bit of a
Wakilan dikit.
brutal one, a big back and forth we're
Sabar,
anticipating
wakilan.
between these two
Ayo lu, boleh makan juga.
squads. We got our traffic light Valorant out of the way. Now we go into the train track Valorant to see which one of these teams is going to be going up against DRX in their next series for that last spot at Masters Toronto.
I'm just hoping for a train wreck not to happen in this one. I just want to have a really good game of Valorant. I don't want this one to be a blowout. I'm
Bah,
at least
jangan nyuruh gua
happy that
ngapa-ngapain
we
lagi
got
ya.
actually, like,
Sure, in that
close.
regard.
But also, if we've got a team that is just very clinical here, I mean, that probably speaks some good value and hopefully would turn into a good game against DRX as well. Because when you look at this one, Boom, I mean, they've got a good track record against teams throughout this group stage as well. But when you look towards the crowd being against them in a couple of their series, it's been a lot closer. So if you're actually taking that as a little bit of a fisheye view, the crowd is against them here from their walkouts, where we heard it be a little bit more excitable for Prx. So how much does that actually hold here?
We are about to find out. This series ready to go. As stated, winners going up against DRX. Boom, will it be them looking to try to take down another Korean squad? Failed previously. Will it be that RX Derby to settle who goes to Toronto? Prx here on the defense to start. A couple ghosts here in hand, a sheriff for Jing. Similar firepower in the hands of Boom on the attack as the door gets tapped. C site for the moment wide open.
And this will show Boom's preparation in watching yesterday's game too, with what to do around the C site. Though, that's a lot of shots as you bait out the shear wall.
Bates it, does not that much damage for how many shots were going his way. Tagged to 78. Certainly could have been worse, but now Prx getting clustered up in the right position. Just going to be something still left back over towards the A site.
But the arc rows as well, poised to flash everybody who's looking to come with through the choke.
Smoke over towards Waterfall, but they're in ahead of this one. And Jing, what a track on the headshot. Famous going to be thinking down there on the slide. Does manage to find Pac-Man, but Jing, he's able to come away with 2 kills. The spike now dropped. Forsaken swooping out. Finding one. DOS9. Just the 1 kill found. So 2 casualties. Jing with a 3K. Prx with the opening pistol.
That's a pretty clear case for Prx as well, of just getting the right read and having the right numbers rotated nice and early, setting themselves up for a good little combo of utility on the site choke point as well of C. Do like to see that from them, immediately hitting their shots out of the gate as well. Meanwhile, for Boom, this is where we need to start to see some adjustments early for them, because they are the team that has come through, you know, the upper side of things. They have had the longer preparation coming in towards this one.
That one team that made it into the playoffs with a very clean record. Find themselves potentially at a risk of elimination here. As the shots flying through the wall, just gets an immense amount of damage. Famous can't see anything at all. As Forsaken's able to go ahead, quickly take him down. Jing clean with the taps. Gets himself another 3K. As it is going to be a damn near flawless anti-eco here for the side of PRX.
And we're going to have to see for Boom if they want to try and contend with any A-Rubble
Satu lagi
control, what
ulti,
they're
anjing.
actually looking to do in their layered approaches with fault lines and with drone, with salvos. If Prx are going to continue to contend over towards A, you need to be making sure that they're not just able to dance around it. You know, we saw a lot of weaknesses for T1 on just gaining any sort of space, gaining any territory, especially over towards C. How scared were they of just devised presence of utility?
Gonna try this again, but look at the stack, look at the setup, the read here from Prx going into their bonus. well set up to try to contend with this, and Jing is up over the
Will be.
top. Now he's got a showstopper, he
Ah.
left it in. NC Slasher is dead. And this round is damn near over. DOS9 lingering here within the smoke. Looks like not really being given too much of consideration. Does manage to push out and find Patman, but Dubai massacres two with a stinger, gets a hefty upgrade. And Berserks has nothing to do. Something wants to get involved, wants to find a piece of the action. He's going to be drifting around the back, and he's going to be finding the headshot. 3-0 start. Train is ready to leave the station.
Time out boom, time out boom.
Leave the station for Prx, of course. Boom. They want to be the derailers, and in that sort of bonus round as well, they are certainly nowhere near any of the action. I mean, you just look at the space control, you look at the early stack from Prx as well, having the right numbers and then just the right utility. When it comes into the scrap battle, you know that's where Prx can thrive. With a lot of their players, you know, able to chop and change between roles. How many duelists do we have on this squad?
Fighting their way forward here. Huge start for the side of Prx. Boom. If they have any kind of magic here with this Bucky in hand for Famous. Beats out the wall.
He's actually in front of the site here.
Oh, yes, he is. And he's dead.
Gone.
Jing is hitting a little bit different these last 2 days. Device similarly. Looking alive and well. DOS9 just managed to find a headshot. Jing will suffer his first death.
Akhirnya
Get
Jing
brought
mati
into a
anjing.
3v3 with a weapon upgrade.
Yeah, you're going to have to go pick up the spike as well eventually. Still do have both controllers available for Boom, so you can toy with these rotations as well with the Viper's toxic screen over towards the A side. DOS9 wait to get his smokes back online, but really you need to find some timing.
Oh, Berserks.
I don't know if he didn't spot him.
No ping down. Either way, wall gets raised, and he's going to have to tap the door, you would suspect, but Forsaken will just go ahead and find the headshot. See Slasher now recovering a weapon, swiftly puts it to use. Keeps it now into a 2v2. Spike is trying to be brought through the baby door and around. 30 seconds remaining, but Prx have double stacked this angle. DOS9 now clearing out one, trying to fake the exit towards A, and looks like Patman does bite the bait.
Does have a seize and a haunt, depending on what angle he can come from. They can be
He can rotate to C.
Yeah, and that'll actually provide a little bit of assurance time as well. More time that you can play with the just spike.
Menang ini DOS9.
Bit of an open plant here. Where does he want to go though?
Spike planted.
He's going to try to push up, can play the close angle here. Waterfall.
DOS9 menang.
Footsteps are heard. Should have the jump. Ooh.
Kecuali.
Brings out. I'm not sure Patman had actually cleared him there. No, he's got a haunt in the C's. Tucks back around the corner, and it's just going to get caught there on a timing. Red Bull clutch from DOS9 will go ahead and get Boom their first round win effectively in that Thrifty.
Yeah, real cheeky one for them to be able to find there. You're looking at the lesser weaponry getting some of the early damage and the trades as well, and then affording a little bit of reset time for the team to upgrade towards the Vandals as well. A bit of overzealousness from Jing in that one, and you think, all right, maybe some stability will be brought back, but it's the trade game and it's the timing and positioning of DOS9. You know, one of the key members that we were seeing go a little bit missing in the one against Gen G, specifically Famous as well. So if they are your key pieces to be online in a series like this, getting the first round on the board, having them activate would certainly be well worth its weight in gold.
The Odin there from Forsaken, looking to try to flush them over to this angle, but something does get noted wisely here. Red from the side of Boom, sending out that stealth drone, anticipating that forward presence at Mound. Able to avoid catastrophe for the moment.
Arcros just confirming more players are still around the C side of things. I mean, you would have heard that from the orb being gathered as well by NC Slasher to get closer to it.
Ooh, trying to go for the flick, and DOS9 taking down a 6 HP.
You don't want to contend with the thorns there. That one is quite understandable. Now the minute mark to be hit, and Prx are gone looking.
Jing and Patman pushing forward here, but not overextending. Little bit of noise made there.
Something of note as well. Patman, no more Prowlers, Jing, no more Boombot 2, so it does come down to these more deeper stages where the rifle action is going to be a bit more prominent.
As the haunt. See when that does get sent, something for now.
30 seconds left.
Just hang back, dodge the stun, Famous. Ready to push, but something just a little bit snappier with it.
20
Takes
seconds.
the pieces, yeah, 20 seconds, and there's still that Odin locked inside of Tree. Forsaken's just spraying through now, finds the first, NC Slasher gonna be taken down. In this round, it's over. They need the breakthrough, and they just absolutely cannot. Wall never got popped.
Yeah.
And there you go. No back-to-back gonna be found. Prx continue, now 4-1.
I mean, when that shear isn't popped in a potential B split, you do just have all eyes essentially towards outside the baby door, and then you've got the spam to come through from Forsaken. Not too much of a wide angle that you need to think about there. It's a very sharp one though from Something with the operator in this round as well. So far you've only got one round on the board as Boom, and it was on that lesser equipped one. Well, now you're back onto a bit of a lesser equipped variety. Maybe it is a situation where you need to go a little bit faster, right? You're getting really close to a couple of these ultimates though. So maybe the faster one might be in the round after this.
Love to have the overdrive at this point, but Famous just hasn't been able to find that impact to build this up fast enough. Forsaken repositioning, just spraying through here, hoping that he gets somebody trapped with this sheer wall.
Yeah, just trying to find them when the expectation is going to be to bait out the shear, which it now will be done successfully.
Stealth going to be sent, and Forsaken, he says, well, I'm at upper now. Famous, a couple bullets to the brain. Odin claims his life. Forsaken will get caught off guard here. Solid reposition from DOS9, sliding forward, unanticipated.
Yeah,
Will answer one back, but that Odin cannot be scooped up.
It was when Forsaken was actually paranoid, so he didn't hear it. So really nicely done from DOS9.
A little bit of a slower read, a pivot across towards A, now realizing that it's going to be on the C site.
Spike plant.
Shells lobbed in the corner, NC Slasher finished off, taken down. Solid paint shells there from Jing. DOS9 up top of the box, does that get anticipated. Push onto the corner, Shiro able to find one. Jing not looking up though. DOS9 does manage to catch him by surprise. Kill found Patman though, quick peek out. DOS9 dead, turn to the flash, double facing forward, and Something doing as Something does. Bounds forward with the shorty in hand. Cuts him down to size. Damage dealt, but still cash aplenty here for the side of Prx.
Yeah, slight little moment of worry in that round for them as Jing satchels in and he actually bopped his teammate off the line and he fell because of that one, but he still manages to have a little bit of recovery in towards the round. There were no ultimates going into that retake scenario as well for the likes of Prx, but a great little combo to dispatch of NC Slasher who did pick up the Rolling Thunder. You could see the idea that he wanted to deploy that one in the round as well. May very well have been needed for Boom's chances there. But now you come in towards the next round where you do have your full investment. You've got a lot more ults online for both of the squads.
Armageddon Rolling Thunder combo potentially there. Prx though another showstopper for Jing as he's 12-2-2.
Yeah, having an absolute heat up.
Something trying to go for the quick peek, eats a bit of damage. Berserk's similarly though, tagged up at 55.
Lucky to get away though with that peak, with how many members Boom were just waiting for in spawn.
First round though, reposition of the sheer wall, actually setting it up on this C site.
Noted.
Spots it. And clears it.
Oh, no, they
Now they
okay. Second attempt to try and do that. Meanwhile, you've got some repositions from Prx as Something gets on the A lobby line. And the rest of the squad playing 2-2. Devi and Patman a lot to do on this C site though, if that's where things do eventuate.
Berserk's just around the corner and Jing just a little bit faster. That previous damage dealt to Berserk's, making a bit of a difference there. So ends up getting picked apart.
And these are the situations where you expect Something to be using the dimensional drift to pivot some information for the rest of the team and allow Jing to get on in, but Boom are changing it up. They wanted to go.
Up and over the top! Jing just Goomba stomping him there, but he actually dies to fall damage! Bit of a king moment there, as now the Armageddon going to be rolling out. Devi in the push forward ahead of this one, but DOS9 is there. Has the angle, has the headshot. Something arrives on the site. Still just the off in hand though. As what a flick and a half. I have no idea how he managed to find that, but they have bought time. The spike never planted throughout this year. Now being committed to. Splash sent up and over the top. The peak coming in. Patman leading the charge and finding them both. Prx continuing now. 6 rounds secured on the defending side here of Lotus.
just a lot of distraction from Prx sent in towards that round, isn't it? When you got the dimensional drift that's coming out from something, keeping the Boom members on their toes, getting some utility thrown in there yet again. You've got Jing making sure that he's finding berserks, but it's this moment here with the showstopper. It's 36 HP that's actually taken there in the fall damage. He's seen his tootsies, but he still has to vertically hit that one. 2 versus 2 scenario, and it was, you know, vulnerability when you're trying to establish a plant. So that's the sort of sticky situation. Had Boom got the plant down earlier enough, you know, maybe coming out with something different. But 6-1, as you mentioned, Boom calling for the timeout.
First one committed here. The wolf in the dark, that is adorable. They did not coexisting creatures, as it turns out, as far as their timelines.
No, neither is a meteor and a dinosaur, as we found out from yesterday.
Yeah, that's the one that missed.
Yep.
You know, the percentage was increasing. They said, oh, like, you know, there's that 3% chance it's going to strike Earth, and then it just it went away.
Just passed the Earth.
Well, some fans coming over from across the pond there. Japan, the cheer on at Prx, and right now they are being well rewarded for their fandom.
Yeah, Lotus to pick off Prx for good reason. I mean, when you consider the good amount of wins that they've been able to pick up with the repeated play for this map, one of the ones that they've played the most this year. And you kind of do see why at the moment, a really good idea on this defensive side. Still, economy not really toyed with for them as well, so they're going to have buys on buys unless we really see something different come out from Boom. Timeout before this round, coming into an albeit thrifty essentially. If Famous can't get anything done with the Bucky, you got to see the ultimate invested.
I mean, you say it'd be a thrifty, but that's the one round that Boom got.
Yep.
Was a thrifty. Granted, credit was given to the Red Bull clutch from DOS9.
There's just no space yet for Boom that they've really been able to find. Of course, the Shearer is over to the seaside yet again, but that's being protected by something first on the operator line. If you've got things motioning towards this A side for Boom, they're going to have an investment of a fault line and the stealth drone from Shiro to get Famous on in. But apart from that, now you've got control. That's just going to bring rotations from Prx.
Somehow Famous dodging damage there. Not going to get caught there by the shots. There's a Divide. Gets positioned over at stairs. Hatman backed up by Jing. Jiggling forward, they're taking the space in behind Boom.
All of the information now is known. Prx 100% know that Boom are locked into A.
Trapped here at tree, perhaps. Fast lane. It's going to be holding down M1 is Forsaken. Salvo sent, but not displacing. Reset, he's in. Famous goes diving right into it. The catastrophe, but Shiro with a solid follow-up shot. Tries to get them back into this, but Divine comes away with a kill as NC Slasher is going to be taken down. The stun going to be sent his way, but now Jing pushing forward. The door gets hit. Something finds a headshot. The spike is on the floor. DOS9 is in heaven. The top of the rope is Jing will go ahead and find the last kill. 7-1. Timeout call. Not leading to a thrifty, but can it lead to a round win with a buy behind? We're about to find out.
That's the early game right now. The Boom are struggling in. It's finding any advantages. It's finding any space that they're not really being contended with by Prx, who just have a great fundamental understanding of where they need to put their pieces. Very happy enough to have something looking at an operator line by himself more often than not, having the Odin go Burr as well. And then meanwhile, you've got some good timing on Patman in the roster now with the Prowlers, right? He's layering them around the map very nicely, I say. Got to see what the difference on this buy-up is going to be for Boom this time, though. Controllers up through pillars already to the front of B. Patman, the one on the side itself.
Locating target.
Turn again, sent something just going to back away. Nothing spotted. Now goes for the pink and Famous with a great headshot. Beats him down. DOS9 looking to try to reposition. Gets himself in deep over by C.
Cover going out.
It's the one-way setup.
Finally a situation as well for Boom where they can get the plant down and have enough time to set up for a post plant.
But they don't have the pit to try to go along with it.
Device can
Steel
actually, yeah, remove their guns.
Says, let's put you back on a thrifty. Overdrive going to be popped though and Famous. He likes those odds. Pushing forward, able to find one. DOS9 holding things down at the back. As Famous comes away with a third. Forsaken now.
Famous nih, bos.
The work, and that is an immense amount of immediate damage. Famous with a 4K. Will get Boom their first proper round victory and a second one here on the board.
Converting with the opening kill as well is actually monumental for Boom, right? They need these sort of advantages and they need to be able to have some time to settle down, figure out a bit of an adjustment plan, not dropping in the pit this round either. It's just the timing for something over at the C-Mound side of things. You know, generally, if you'd see Divide put the Arc Rose over at Mound, he could be flashing first to allow something to go on for that peak a little bit more comfortably. But just the timing that Famous gets across and then is able to overdrive in towards the site and really just destroy Prx.
Big change up here. Planting Jing forward. Do they read DOS9's position? The question. At the same time, Forsaken, he just peeks out of B, finds Shiro there in spawn, and all the chaos that's ensuing around towards Mound.
Yep, and they can disconnect now. They've got the opening kill on a Shiro. That removes the salvos, that removes some information.
Shiro mati di mana, Cok?
Absolutely pivotal for a team like Boom right now to have something like that
Di mid.
online, because if you don't, I mean, there's no
Di pick
real
B-nya.
information. You've got to sacrifice bodies now.
Famous just going to try to find anything that he can get here.
Aneh anjing Jason tuh smoker, tai.
Big old peek. At this angle, though, be a hell of a flick on the Jing, but now is a bit more realigned.
Things going towards this A side with a potential pivot through the baby door back towards B, though. And Prx starts to rotate towards A. There goes Forsaken.
Yep, Famous able to find it. After shock, hold off the approach here. Jing swooping around. Two players now contained back behind this smoke. Berserk's going to try to hold the line, but gets full flash. They turn around, and they're able to find it. For a second, it looked like it might have ended with disaster. Double push forward into the smoke, shorty in hand. Jing ends up falling to the wayside. Now 3v3. Famous looking for the shot, but it's going to be Pac-Man who finds it. Just over the shoulder with the op. Doesn't find the contact, and now Spike opened up to start getting tapped here. Swing out, Divide. Holding from the one angle, loses out the fight. Pac-Man now asks to clutch this out. And see Slasher down to a sliver, dead. Does he read the reposition? Has the shorty, seems like he has an idea, but the time is starting to dwindle. Footsteps gonna be heard, gets it down to half, and Pac-Man!
Huh?
Does he actually have it? Oh,
Anjing.
0.3 seconds away.
Anjing, what the fuck itu kalau menang, what the fuck?
What would have been a monstrous clutch, but Boom narrowly scraped by.
I mean, that doesn't give
Ini
you too much
berarti
confidence as
8-4.
Boom. It's
Total
a sigh
8-4.
of relief that they're able to come away with that one, isn't it? 4 versus 5 conversion that they're able to get in. I mean, Berserk gets absolutely completely blinded, so no pit to be able to put on towards it. And I thought that actually Prx noted that both of those members had gone in towards the Heaven location earlier on with the double peak and the shorty spot, but you never really know if they repositioned with the time or went for a bit of a flank. Valiant attempt from Prx there, but finally we got another round on the board for Boom. And
Lah
it's
nggak
in
ikut tuh
succession
kok.
as well.
Jangan sotoy kok ah. Lu
Now we also eventually get some op v off.
nggak ada yang ikut juga.
Or grab from something does give him another dimensional drift.
More importantly though, for Boom, Pit and a Rolling Thunder, if you can set it up.
Jump out.
Fuck.
It's gonna be one and an exit. Pac-Man left to his own devices, but the Seas will cover his retreat. Smoke set, lingers within. Meanwhile, double push around the back is Forsaken, trying to readjust, but Jing right there to play off it as well. Shiro now putting his sights through and losing the fight. Jing comes away with another kill as something does end up falling. Breaks open the C site here.
Kok nggak kena anjing?
Last two remaining players, with both of them tagged up.
Point and click for Famous. Doesn't matter about the HP.
Planted.
Timing though from Pac-Man swinging around the back. Watched here by NC Slasher.
Ini Pac-Man dapat
Shot
dua-duanya nih.
missed here. Pac-Man in perfect
1,
position
2.
to capitalize.
Oh,
Doesn't
beli
read
nih.
NC Slasher's spot, but now has all the info that they need.
Lu ada ulti lagi. Taka menang ini.
From here, the Rolling Thunder far too risky.
Unless
15 health remaining, and Jing, he'll peek out. He'll see the shorty, and he'll shut it down.
Yeah, just already tagging him up makes it a little bit easier for Prx to come in together as a team at the end. A really great idea to just get through the A lobby earlier. You know, the respot as well from Pac-Man's Prowler, noting that Shiro is still up the guts of B as well. So you've just got a really great plan from Prx in this round to have the components for the trades available. Really lock a sticky situation in this one for Boom. The real only way they're getting back in that sort of scenario in the 3 versus 2 is if the shot is hit from Famous for a 2 versus 2 and they're rolling thundering one side where they're expecting the opponents to come from and setting him up on another op line.
And now look at what you have for Prx. That final kill from Jing in the previous round. Another showstopper, his third of the half at the ready. If that pit comes into play, you've got something you can scout. And the rocket that can flush out a Viper, but
kaget.
something, never mind, is going to be taken down. Rocket does go flying. Damage found on a famous but kill not coming
Anjing,
through.
hidup, anjing.
Swings
The
in
fuck?
with Stinger.
What the
Finds the
movement,
headshot.
brother?
Was able to shut down the enemy Neon. Ultimately a trade up here for the side of Paper X. Player advantage in their
Ini hidup
hands.
sih.
Now everyone from Boom committed and contained within this Rebel position.
Big deal to actually win here.
They're going to think that they can rotate out, and Forsaken is lurking with a Judge around the corner. If they choose to go into B, they might just save themselves, but otherwise, a drift towards
Forsaken dapat 3 berarti.
could cost them.
Oh,
Anjing.
back there, toying with the idea of C.
3.
Busted up, this
Dapat
could be
3.
devastating.
Tuh.
There's one. Can't find the second.
Spike down. Attack
They're actually going to beat Paper Rex towards this C side too, so maybe finally we're going to get the pit in play for Berserks.
The two players with ults at the ready. NC Slasher gives it a consideration. Opts to go ahead, save it here, perhaps for the post plant. Pit goes in first, but Patman on a little bit of a faster timing, pushes forward, finds him. NC Slasher now at the duel.
Woi.
With the peek over the top, the spike never planted. Jing in pole position strikes.
Switching sides.
And Paper X are up 9-3 as they now swap to the attacking side of
Halo
Lotus.
Jing
Yeah, I mean,
21.
better than
Halo.
The 10-2 half that they got against T1 if you consider Boom's side of things, right? But it's just another story where Paper Rex have really great ideas on this defensive time. They've got great recognition of the gaps around the map. And Boom, I mean, we've seen that they haven't really played this map too much, right? A really big win against Global Esports, but that was in, what, week 2?
Keras nggak nih?
Stage? That was absolute weeks ago. If you've not been prepping and being ready for this one here, and you're watching the game yesterday,
Halo.
you're still allowing this one to come in towards this series. I mean,
Alex lah.
it's not good
Sweetheart
yet.
Alex,
This is
sweetheart
revealing.
Alex.
Do you like seeing
Pacaran kan?
your boyfriend suffer?
I mean, he's not been suffering too much lately with the wins they've been getting, so...
Oh, no. But that might mean that she's suffering, if that's what
Right.
she prefers to see him angry.
The goat. Ooh.
Go to all animals, who takes the crown, the dinosaur or the wolf? I mean, one of them's extinct, so...
One of them is also just a category.
yes, this is true. Which dinosaur?
Yeah. Which one?
I mean,
Yeah,
I guess
what we talking
Tyrannosaurus Rex, right?
Triceratops, Raptor, T-Rex. Like this is, you know,
Pterodactyl.
Pterodactyl. Another good choice.
Keras nggak nih? Keras nggak nih?
I like the ones that can fly,
Brontosaurus,
because
you
we
know,
can't.
Enggak
It's
sih,
just
feeling gua
an
enggak
avenue
sih.
that we don't get to experience as humans. Yeah,
Maybe one day.
maybe.
Susah banget kalau Jing udah on a roll kayak gitu tuh.
Let's see if
lawannya-
Jing is going to be able to carry on with this absolute destruction that he
Nah,
came
try.
out with on the defensive side, by the way. Or if Boom are going to be able to answer back now with the double
Oke
controller
dari situ.
setup that
Oke,
they have
oke.
deployed on
Baru
this map.
pelajarin itu.
Yeah, I think if Boom could run this back from defending side, be able to take this map, it would be one of the biggest comebacks that we have seen. With context included. Flashes out onto multiple players. Shiro able to find one, but I mean, it just lost in the sauce. Ends up falling into something's hands. DOS9 though, nice little lurk behind the box. Finds Patman,
Huh?
finds Devi.
Udah bye.
DOS9 continuing to try to be the
Nah,
hero here
Jing
for the
yang
team.
nutup emang.
Jing cutting him down with the sheriff.
Apaan
Finds
sih
the
Jing?
follow-up
Apaan
on
sih
the
ngapain
range.
menang anjing?
Both pistols in the hands of Paper
Mau
Rex.
ngapain
They
juga
get themselves
headshot,
up to
anjing.
double digits.
Yeah, that makes things monumentally more difficult for Boom now in this map. I mean, maybe it is another scenario like yesterday where Paper Rex had to just write off Fracture in their minds when they had a
Ini si Rock pikir udah mati anjing si something.
Map number 3 go your way. Maybe that's too early to say at the moment, but Jing getting active yet again with a lot of the kills. We did see on Haven, for example, Primi come out with a really good half with 19 frags on that attacking side and ending up with 25. I mean, I think Jing is looking to do a little bit better than that as an individual performance.
Been a hell of a way to start things off for him. Kind of having the game that we were maybe anticipating to see from something, given how he played the Euro just yesterday.
Yep.
Jing absolutely outpacing him so far. Still fairly light on the pie here for the side of Paper X, considering the lead that they do have, not wanting to take too many risks. Seems like they're sticking to the game plan no matter what.
Yeah, and if the plan right now is end at 8, well, you only have to contend with NC Slasher, and then you can play it to your heart's content and have a pretty easy close to the round. Meanwhile, C-Mound, little counterplay from Boom over there, but it's going to have no value.
Probably checking, not spotting. NC Slasher for now, still hidden here at backside. Boombot ends up bouncing one more time and Forsaken plays off the back of it beautifully.
The fuck?
He rides the rope, must not have been blinded, finds the headshot as DOS9 just get taken down and Jing gets spared. There's a tuck back.
That's on.
Forsaken continuing the challenge.
Play for win, son. Play for win. Ayo.
Team blind.
That's on.
From Forsaken that got his little friend. Yeah. It was the Paranoia and Salvo combo from Boom over at Mound.
Prx is about to get silly.
Dia TP, nembakin
Another
TP-nya.
flash out. Nothing really noted there. Something finding the shot. They're continuing to run forward. And all right, they get the cleanup. It's going to be a flawless here. As Prx getting the heart going, making me concerned. I thought they were going to just rush out and lose a bunch of weapons.
Nah, they just want to add a little bit more entertainment towards this one. They can't win a map cleanly.
Apaan anjing?
They have to do something silly. But no, good to see that all 5 are alive. You know, they come into that round with a couple of pistols as well, so you can potentially see now this bonus round look a little bit more stronger with holding for the rifles, which is exactly what they do. An operator, meanwhile, for Famous, glass cannon style, at least it's out early, right? Last time we saw Boom play, they have, what, 2 operators in play total?
It took them 6 rounds to be able to get it.
Yeah.
The first time out. But yeah.
Ini Prx nih kok nggak nge-throw sih?
No fast lane. This Forsaken just setting up the smoke and now is well aware of this op being in play. Makes a TP. It's a little bit of an investigation here onto the site. They were thinking maybe he could be
Anjir, smoke
backside.
Jason tai apaan sih?
Where does he
Buat dia sendiri, gila.
He's just smiling.
Yeah, wait for your teammate to see if you can reveal any opponents. I mean, it's putting a little bit of pressure right now onto DOS9, who, well, doesn't feel pressured anymore that he's found Forsaken.
Smoke gua buat gue ya, jangan ada yang minta smoke.
Get tagged down. 10 HP remaining there on Boom's Taeho.
Gila banget Jason.
Check into the B side.
Pakai jet Son kalau mau double smoke itu Son.
The Thorns just go ahead, hold off that back angle, upper, they get the spot on NC Slasher. There's something checking around towards Tiz and hits
What the
that
fuck?
headshot through the corner.
Pivot towards the A site now as well, and I'm looking at the utility of Boom. You have nothing really to play for on this retake.
No paranoia to the fault line, and it's already going to be sent. As they
Gila,
try
Jing
themselves
nyelip,
into
nice.
positions, but you still have
Dapat 2.
a Viper that's over the line.
Unless
However, does get caught, DOS9.
Dusnin ngecek Dusnin.
At top, does manage to go ahead and find the one, flashing into the swing out,
Dah,
collecting another.
nice.
Himself 2, finishing off that low HP
1v.
member, but
Wih.
Line him up.
has them lined up.
Lopatman keluar.
Prx recounting back to Master Shanghai. Themselves stacked in front of one another, die together. That does give Boom a round win.
Yeah. Not bad for Boom, but not the way that you want to be getting another round on the board, is it? Into the bonus round where you only take out 1 weapon, albeit the operator, so you'll at least be okay that you take that into the next one. Timing and
Itu apaan
rotation
sih?
Such a quick shot.
from Prx. Still giving a massive crack in this one. Just want to see this last kill and how they do line up for him. It's a bit of a waltz for Berserks, and yeah, I mean, he's just shooting at his
Anjir.
teammates, falling corpse at that moment. Still, Boom on the board again. Will stave off Prx from getting map point in the first one of this elimination game.
Biar bisa lihat killnya.
But yeah, so much
Ngentot
damage
nih.
dealt here. So another outlaw brought forward.
It's not the
Only
worst.
2 half armors actually here. So not too bad, but Divide just disrespects the smoke, pushing forward. Catching DOS9 and Famous. That would have been one hell of a flick. Close but no cigar. Something does get taken down. All gained in death. As Prowler to try to check around the back. And so far Berserks avoiding detection. The bound across, Jing still
bingung
somehow comes
anjing.
away with that kill. The judge now from Forsaken just storming forward towards Waterfall. And even gets Shiro down to 67. The armor ripped away from him.
And you've got an operator, remember, for this retake. Do you have to consider saving this to the next round?
I think you absolutely do. But at that point, you're no longer playing for the win. You're playing to try to push it into overtime. We'll see what the call does end up looking like for Boom. Might be best to just cut the losses here on the map and then focus forward for their own map pick. And see Slasher, however, is able to find one. The judge for now.
3 lawan 3.
Showstopper, however, similarly at the ready, just looking to try to contain them back.
Oke, bye-bye.
Boom, pushing forward, persevering. Paint shell sent. Jing frantically trying to figure out Shiro's position. Shiro will get him with the wall bang shot.
Damai, ayo damai ah.
Once again, up, can it be retained? Boom, continue to persevere.
Yeah, by the narrowest of margins yet again. 7 seconds and change on the clock. So a 3 versus 4 retake that they find successful. Think about, you know, the call that they would have had to make in the scenario like that as well. What do we wait for? But we find some good timing on Forsaken looking the wrong way. The operator comes out, and then there's a couple of trades. The 1 versus 1, similar HP for both members at the end as well, but Shiro getting that one, so they will hold on, and it really is feeling like it's Boom holding on at the moment, but maybe now a moment of reprieve. Stingers, Light Shields, still
Comeback ini, Boom.
Dimensional Drift. I mean, you could actually invest those in a round such as this as Paper X.
Knowing the team, they very well may.
It could be quicker towards
Bagus utilnya.
to lead first too.
NHL sending him off the angle here. Bucky in hand for Jing, just trying to scare him off and force him back. A bit of damage here now, down to 21. Swing onto the corner, though, Forsaken, doubling back, able to find Dawes9. Shiro, dead. Devi, got the stinger, pushes it, finds Berserks. That's Slasher pitching through the smoke, is able to find one. The spike drop for a brief little moment. Famous with the off. The swing down, and NC Slasher loses the fight. Famous has to do it all. The question is again, do you save it or do you try to
Bang,
play it
Baki,
out?
Bang, itu,
His
Bang.
teammates will have relayed how low some of these
Halo.
players are, but now he's trying to slide the cross, gets the no scope. Oh, tiny bit of style perhaps.
One bullet.
One bullet.
Wah.
Reloads. Can he split this? No. The Bucky will once again sing out. Silencing Famous as Paper X get themselves up to map point.
I mean, I'm talking about maybe a Dimensional Drift and Steel Garden, and that they just invest the Nightfall, and they make it look easy a little bit there, don't they? They're just straight shooting in towards it. They're getting the trades. They're commanding space
jelas,
towards the
anjir,
hole
gila.
as well. Just the Stingers and the Bucky getting the job done. And that pushes Paper X onto round number 12 now, map point. This is their own map pick of choice, by the way, for those that may have just joined us during the map.
Yep.
Now it's 7 in a row that Boom would need to find to push us into an overtime scenario.
Udah, next game. Kalau gue main. Tyler, next game anjing.
Hit on C, Dimensional Drift, storming through the B side here for the moment. Push up, close angle, Jing able to find one before being taken down. Jump up into the smoke. Shorty shot, not quite connecting there is something. Quick little exit. Forsaken in the meantime, though, he's pitching forward. He's gotten himself as well over to the baby door. And now this back rubble position is all but
Wait,
shattered.
what?
Wide open as it's just Dawes9 and Berserk
Jason
still
TP-nya
standing.
ke
Yeah,
Hobbit.
Dawes9 could get out of there,
Jangan,
but his
jangan,
teammate
TP
couldn't.
Hah?
And Berserk's just used the pit on the C site, remember? So they kind of knew where he was already.
Gimana Jason bisa di Hobbit, toy?
And checking things out, nothing spotted Berserks. Just the stinger in the smoke. As the C's gets a grab, I think noise has been made. And like you pointed out to me now, yep, Devi still on a lurk.
Dor, Devi mati.
Maybe a timing. Dawes9 seemingly has spotted him, but Devi just wins the fight. 13-5.
Mana ulti si Eko, kan dia abis itu ulti. Lu aneh. Kan abis itu dia ulti. Masa ultinya 2 kali? Nge-cheat deh.
He made
Balls as well. And this
into the smoke.
Nih.
Hit on C, Dimensional Drift,
Yes.
storming through.
in a row that
Oh,
for the moment.
dikelirin sama
an
something,
overtime
cok.
scenario.
Nih berdua. Something ulti.
Hit
Ke
on C,
sini.
Dimensional Drift, storming
Jason
through
ngikutin
the B side
doang.
for the moment. Push up, close angle, Jing able to find one before being taken down. Jump up into the smoke. Shorty shot, not quite connected.
Gelo.
Quick little exit.
Gelo.
Forsaken in the meantime, though, he's pitching forward. He's gotten himself as well over to the baby door. And now this back rubble position is all but shattered. Wide open as it's just Dawes9 and Berserk alongside the nerves. Some decent moments at the start. A couple players were hitting Dawes9, continuing to put up some decent performances round over round, but the victory's just not quite coming to fruition. See how they fare, bouncing back from this 13-5.
Bang, kita aja yang nonton bingung, Bang. Apalagi yang di in-game, gimana Jason bisa di situ. Pasti kayak gitu. Kita nih nonton, ngelihat mapnya, ngelihat semuanya. Masih bingung. Bagaimana yang di dalam server?
Chaos that Lotus delivered.
That's right, and we expected nothing less than chaos.
Nah guys,
Boom and
mules dulu,
Prx,
boker dulu sambil
Paper
nunggu
X
next game.
ended up delivering
Sambil main
all
HP
that
bentar.
chaos in all of the worst ways against Boom.
Yeah, I mean, Jing, what a fantastic game from him, but Paper X, their Lotus looks really well drilled at the moment. Like, they are going from strength to strength with this current comp that they're running. Most of the maps where Jing is on the race, things are going very well for Paper X at the moment, and in his current form, he's looking like he might be the best player in Pacific. Like, he was in complete flow state that game. It was ridiculous. It's just perfect movement, perfect mechanics, and no one on Boom could even touch him.
Yeah, he could do no wrong, even just from the very start of the map. He started hot and kept going so continuously all the way through. I don't want to know how many showstoppers he had throughout the game, but it felt like near infinite, ending that game with a fantastic 350
Can
points,
I
yes.
say something about that? At this point, if I'm the opponent on Lotus and if I'm standing in Waterfall, I would get the heck away because you know Jing loves hitting that spot.
He's going.
He does.
He's
He'll do
going
it.
in there.
Shotgun guaranteed.
Yeah.
We also saw a nice game from Dust9 on the other side. I think he showed some good levels, some good individual, but the rest of the Boom guys not really there, especially as we look down towards the bottom of that scoreboard there. Berserks and Shiro didn't manage to find their footing into this game, which is something that they do need if they're going to topple a Titan like PRX.
Yeah, if we're going to reverse it, we need 5 big booms. There's only one in the server right now. And NC Slasher did alright, actually.
Yeah,
as well. He was on the breach and he was fragging. Okay, like half the time he's holding util. He was shooting a fair few people, but 100%. This is a problem for Boom. We cannot go missing anymore, guys. There's no more losses that we can possibly have. And look, it's really hard to fight the group stage allegations at this point. It's getting very difficult, guys. We both predicted for you, but it's getting hard.
I'm going to huff the copium. I thought that was actually better than it was against Gen G. It was better than it was against Gen G. And, you know, Boom did have some nice moments. We can take a look at the replays here.
Both of you guys picked Dust9.
Yeah, we did. Dust9. So, look, talking about Dust9, I mean, I feel like this clutch in particular we had to talk about. I felt like he played it so well. He made the little step running towards A, baits Patman across, smokes on A, buys himself so much time, positions himself nicely in this off angle. This was so clean. This is textbook one-on-one play.
Yeah, I mean, Dust9 winning multiple clutches for them that were mostly the only rounds that Boom got. The only other round that they got was actually a pretty nice approach to the C post plan.
Yeah.
They recognized that the Steel Garden was there for PRX. You have to recognize what kind of game plan your opponent's going to come in with to be able to actually complete the retake. So the fact that they were able to play outside of C Mound, nice drone to actually set up Famous onto the line there, able to get that first pick, and then from here they recognize what the retake plan is for PRX, and they're already playing around it before it starts.
Yeah, I love this. Famous not afraid to go forward. That's exactly what you should do. You don't want to be locked in on that Lotus C site because the retake becomes so much easier when they have all that space if you just move all the way back from long. Famous stays on site, pushes into Waterfall, makes life hard so they can't take the space with that Steel Garden.
Well, one thing's for sure, you guys did pick the correct Boom player as far as map
So
1
far.
goes.
So
but I mean, I expect good things from Dust9 continuing on, and I do hope we get a full series today. I know a lot of fans here in Pacific have come to like both of these teams a lot. Now, Jing, we were talking about his performance and how, you know, you're saying he's probably one of the best players here in Pacific now.
Yeah, I think so. Like, when he's in this flow state, he has just continued to deliver. Every single series, Jing is fragging on the duelist, he's fragging on the controller, and for PRX, he really is just the best player right now. And the thing is, when your Raze is in flow state like this, you know, this is the agent that he's known for.
Yeah.
You're just able to get so much momentum for your team because you're making plays, you're getting those opening picks, but also you can see just how many showstoppers this man is stringing together, getting 3 or 4.5.
yeah, I mean, those are game-changing ultimates, round-winning ultimates that he just constantly had. And I feel like when you have such a strong Raze, it's easy to see why they like to lean into maps like Lotus. He can completely run it over because Raze is so strong here. Jing, a huge part of this PRX resurgence. And yeah, he's gonna have to get them one more map here.
Bro,
Yeah,
Continue towards Toronto.
1.6 kills around. He's killing 1.5 people around.
it's insane how he's been doing. We have been seeing him play Raze for so long.
Yeah.
Do you guys see any difference in how he used to play Raze with this team versus how he plays it now? It looks a lot more controlled in a way. It's not so volatile where he's just sending himself in by himself.
I think for me, he's definitely set up a little bit more. We see the, Patman joining as a support player who's obviously very good at enabling Jing. But what I do like is he hasn't lost all that flair that he used to have. We still see him go waterfall on C. We still see him sit in a smoke with a bookie. I feel like he's combining the old school, what made him great back in the day, which was the craziness, with the sort of more modern approach of being properly set up and having some coordination with his teammates.
Now, what's really interesting is today's map pool is exactly the same as Paper X played yesterday, except in a different order. Obviously, it's not T1 today, it's Boom and it's Fracture, and both of these teams historically good on Fracture until yesterday.
Yeah.
How do you guys want to break this down? Because Paper X looked awful yesterday.
Boom, good on Fracture. No, I'm kidding. Paper X, I think. Look, it was a very good map and a map that they picked for a lot of the year so far. It's been a map that they have been able to reliably go to and be able to pick it up in a series going through kickoff into this current iteration of the roster. So I can see why they would pick it into the series against T1 yesterday. They had an absolute shocker of a game. I know that they're going to deliver a better performance than that, but how much better is the question. For Boom, it's been a pretty solid map for them as well. I know that they're going to be backing themselves on this map. They've been getting some good dubs. They've been picking it a little bit, but not too much. So, look, I think they're going to be quite confident they can win this one, and they did win it over Paper X in their head-to-head that they played against each other, and Dot9 had a fantastic game there on the Brimstone as well.
Yeah, this isn't Boom just looking at that game yesterday and going, ha ha ha, something won't kill, let's pick it. It's more thought out than that, and I think it's a map where they actually feel confident in their own gameplay. They know PRX are going to deliver a little bit of a stronger performance today, but as you said, they already have that head-to-head. I think they're able to understand how PRX want to play this map, so that's why they're choosing to pick it, and I think that's why they'll still be feeling okay in this series. They are still alive in this series, people. I'm hanging on to my prediction. Dot9's going to deliver me a victory.
Well, tell me then. Boom is a very different team than T1, and if you think they are still going to pick apart what Paper X has, well, let's assume they'll be using the same comp. But what kind of things do you want to see from Boom facing us?
So it's a double duelist, right? The Paper X have. It's Neon, it's Raze, and it's very, very fast. And, you know, they didn't deal with the pace of double duelist well in this first map. I think they have to do a better job of when this double duelist is actually bursting at you, when Jing is saturating, you have to isolate the rest, deal with that, you know, initial insurgence a little bit better. You can't be letting Jing get clean entries on you all the time. He's opening up sites entirely by himself. They need to find a way to shut down that hard entry.
I think it might be hard for them to do that though, because they're not playing the Vice usually on this map, so I think that was critical for Meteor to play the Vice. It's going to come down to a lot more of the execution-based reactive utilities. Sky Smokes, Fault Lines, the Teo utility as well is going to be absolutely key. So you're looking at DOS9 again here, but the formula is there for T1. It's solid macro play that picks apart this burst style. It's gathering info. It's actually taking map control and being fluid on the defense rather than just all retaking through spawn side. Paper X is going to death ball and run it down at the sites on the attacking side, and you need to be able to set up and have a clear retake plan.
I also have one more question. This is, I mean, a really good analysis there. But yesterday, especially you, Big Time, you were like all in Paper X. Paper X could do no wrong, blah, but then,
this was the
what about today?
This was the hardest prediction of my life. I was torn between my head and my heart here, and I went with my heart with Boom, but I believe both these teams have what it takes to make it to Toronto. I think the winner of today goes. We do have our agent picks coming in. No big changes for Paper X, something back on that Brimstone, looking at the redemption arc, and we are seeing Jing staying on that Raze, Forsaken on that Neon, a patented style for them now.
Yeah, Paper X wanted to play that burst style on attack to start things off. Boom needs to be ready for that. They need to be able to slow them down and stop them. I want to see Famous get on the AWP. It's what we saw there from Buzz. Getting on those AWP info lines was very, very key. Getting the info with the Teo drone. I think Berserk's is going to have a harder time on the Killjoy though.
Yeah, when you're running this double duelist, you want to contact a little bit. You want to get space for free, so having that deep AWP really picks them apart. T1 did such a good job of that. Famous has to be able to emulate that, get himself active again today.
Well, this is going to be a really exciting one. You guys are still Boom believers? We're going to go to map 3?
Yeah, of course. DOS9.
They need to step up. They need to step up individually at the end of the day. That's what it comes down to. It needs to be at least 2 or 3 players having a good game here for Boom.
All right, well, we're going to have to wait and see. We got friends here facing against each other. They sing karaoke with each other, and now they're going to send each other home. We're going to send it back to our casters, Kilios and Komodo. It's not Paper Thin. I almost said Paper Thin.
He's younger. He has hair. How is this so difficult, Victoria? God, just
I appreciate that.
You know, I gotta defend you. When you're sitting in the chair next to me, I gotta back you up. Unless you're Paper Thin, which means I'll always tear you down. Because it's funny. Anyway, we're gonna get into the action here and see if Boom are gonna be able to run this back. Get us a third map in this series.
100th map for Jing as well in VCT Pacific. So I'll see if he can get another one going here, though.
Yes. Contact. That's going to be the sun coming out a little bit too late. Berserk's out from tower, able to find one, but cannot get the trade up to try to equalize. Is hello something. Dust9 takes his time, finds the kill, cherishes it for a moment, but then has his life wrested away from him. As Jing has another fiery hot start here to the pistol round. Push out. It's going to be the 4K. Has the paint shells. Might try to spread the love around here a little bit more.
Oh, hang on.
Might be regretting that, but there you go. Goes off the peak, finds it. 4-piece for Jing on the raise. And that is going to be 3-0 in pistols for Paper X across the set now.
Yeah, it always makes it harder for a team, isn't it, when you're not getting the pistol rounds that you're generally finding 2 on the back of as well, right? So a bit of a roughie, but it's good to see that Jing starts off from where he left off in the last map. Now, cast your mind back to when we did first see these two teams play each other in the group stage. Week number 3, Patman's first game with Paper X. They had Fracture in the pool. It's a pretty close scoreline in the end. Jing dropped 27 kills back then as well. So with him already just having an absolute belter in the first map, imagine a world in which he can consistently do that coming into here yet again. A-main control for Boom. They'll take the orb. And with just the Killjoy turret to protect the B site, and Berserk's in the back lane as well.
Brimstone.
It's free territory for Paper X here in the NE.
Bunuh berapa kira-kira?
Approach around that north side.
Bunuh berapa ya?
Boom. It's just going to be a bit of a death ball.
Twitch gue nyoba cuman dia cuma bisa 720p.
Died at the spike. One of the things that you don't want to do is give Jing those last 2 charges.
Yeah. Something in Devi going with the same pistol play, so the bonus round can be brought up with next round.
Patman able to find himself a second kill as Dawson will
Weh, something udah bunuh.
headshot. Looking for a little bit more. Berserks will make it somewhat costly. And Jing now 1 away. Shiro sat here in sewer, going to try to stay alive, but Devi on the hunt. We'll go ahead and put him down, get his second charge towards that ult. Not flawless, but damn near close to it. Paper X 2-0 start.
100% increase in
gila ya.
performance as well for something compared to
Satu lagi, dia udah 2 map kayak gininya. Round 3, tinggal 1 lagi.
Pain point to a degree for Paper X.
Ultimately, it's a positive.
Oh, for sure, right now, yeah.
A gain is a gain.
Yeah, and they did win the series at the end, so as I said, they wipe off that first map in that series from their minds. They come out with a reverse sweep, and they already have map number 1 in this series. So now, coming in towards the bonus round, let's see if Boom are going to be able to answer back. An operator has been purchased up for Glass Cannon style yet again.
Enggak sih, unlikely sih. Mereka 5-0 group stage menurut lu mental gak ngaruh?
And Devi will cross that rope to meet with the team 2.
Oh, off the contact of the turret. Zerk's on the peak, able to find Jing.
Yeah, raid boss down.
Gets the showstopper in death. Best way possible for Boom's odds here. He tried to deny bonus conversion. That Paper X was able to do to get off to such a hot start on that defense on Lotus.
Yeah, just keeping the operator poised towards Dish as well. Just isolates a whole angle of the map that Boom don't essentially need to just worry about right now. You got your alarm bot still to play contact over at Arcade too, so you really only need to have a bit of focus towards the south side entries of the map. And Paper X is still going to be leaning towards B, so we'll see what the members there for Boom are going to be able to do.
Fast lane to try to escort them forward. Tucked into the corner, never checked here, but might not matter as Forsaken finding one. Now peeks back out there. Made aware. Batman still with that Spectre. Getting himself another 2 kills. Forced to reposition. Salvo's holding him back here for the moment as the smokes get ready to dissipate. Gets retucked into the corner. Nothing to flush him out, but double stuns available here for Shiro and Famous. Shiro finding one. Patman, the Vandal recovered, picked up. Pushing forward. Just the pistol drawn out here in the smoke. Dissipating. Tags him to 60. Swinging around, the off shot. Gonna be good for it here is Famous. Bonus conversion, not to come through, but still, again, so much damage suffered.
How many times have we seen Boom win a round and it's only one member surviving and it's taking that operator into the next one? I mean, yeah, it's awesome that they're able to get online. They're able to, you know, in the early stages, not see Paper X just run away with it. but they have to be winning these ones a little bit more convincingly. Like, the fact that Forsaken noted getting in
The
towards
fuck?
the tower and Berserks isn't able to dispatch of him. Patman is getting all of these trades. If he doesn't allow Forsaken to just, Famous to just retreat a little bit and bring out that Operator shot, that would be the third one for Paper X, you would assume. You mentioned that Jing got the Showstopper in depth. Well, now that's available, accompanied by a Rolling Thunder.
Go for the classic new turn setup. Rolling
Nine.
Thunder them forward with the Showstopper.
Dust 9 also doesn't have any shield here.
Showstopper now going to be sent. Jing expecting some pressure off the back of that fault line, but in fact it is just a massive retreat over towards that rope, which that's going to be a decent amount of splash damage on DOS 9. As drop down from Shiro, is able to find one, but then Paper X opens up the firing squad. 2 more kills in reply.
Yeah, good trades. They'll settle themselves down now for the post plant. Remember, the Rolling Thunder is available.
Still in the back pocket here to try to defend. Situated here in main. Famous just taking a bit of a blind shot.
Oi.
Forsaken is a
Oi.
wheel.
Bengong boy.
Well, that's going to force the Rolling Thunder. Connects on the 2.
Bengong ơi.
Time continuing the tick here. This fault line gets sent. Swoop out. Berserk's good to find Jing. Comes up with that kill, but they still need to break through the door. Berserk's trying to lead the charge. Finds the headshot. That leaves Patman now alone to try to clutch it out. Gets some damage across. The stun. Connecting. The op shot. Missing. But NC Slasher hitting, but the time is not there. Paper X. A war of attrition. They narrowly win. As it's going to be a Red Bull clutch, everyone dead, but the round theirs.
Yeah, Boom very scared from the Showstopper at drop, understandably so as well. And then the Rolling Thunder to really push them back before they have any time to just clear the whole site, focus on the main angle. Like, you're removing an opportunity where something has the incendiary as well. And you're thinking, all right, this is looking okay. You got a 2 versus 1, or it was a 3 versus 1 in fact, before Patman managed to bring it to that 2 versus 1 and just bought himself enough time. Take that one as you are for Paper X, with everyone dying, so they will have to reinvest here. But similarly for Boom, I mean, they didn't survive with too much either.
Forsaken, does he just go for it? Big
Thinking
stealth
about it.
trying to open up the door here. And, oh, looking for that 2-person face forward. Jing now trapped in the corner. The Armageddon starting to go across. Patman going to be taken down as DOS 9 is able to find one. The rest of the players trying to escape, but Forsaken eventually found. DOS 9 now with an orbital strike online. Famous.
Ntar guys, gue
Nice
ambil
line,
harus
he's able
yang
to find
sesuatu
Jing
ya.
to find. Forced
Mungkin
basically
DOS
just to drop out of the smoke, try to find something, but Boom, looking like they might be finding their footing for realistically the first time here in this series. Flawless would do wonders for them. Something will take that away from them. But an ace clutch to move up 4-1 seems like it's out of the cards.
40 seconds and he can reposition towards the B side if he wants. He is one away from the orbital, smokes an incendiary, but I think priority, have the gun available for the next round. Probably one of the most clean rounds we've seen from Boom so far here today.
Turret set up around the back. Smoke's coming down. Are they in audio distance? It seems like they haven't realized quite just yet, but now they will.
How much does he get here?
Shift walks over. Is it just going to be the
Ace
full
ini.
wraparound? He's got
Ya nggak sih? Ace.
Time he could reroute through sewers if he wanted to. Looks like it is just going to be the setup here at Arcade. Shots starting to come.
Tai,
through.
apaan sih?
Not gonna be good for either of them.
Di tapping anjing, di tapping kayak Jamal.
Barely surviving. Boom. Bring this back. Just one round separating.
Importantly, it's just the team going
Oh,
together as a unit there to make sure they're getting the trades. Not leaving anything up to chance, not leaving any opportunity for something to be able to come out with it. I really do like the scrap battles that they have and the combination of utility around the door as well, right? You're getting in the Armageddon, the Aftershock, the fault line. You're just really making Paper X have a bad day with gaining any space and any just solidified positions that they can try and shoot back from. It'll push them on towards the eco round now as well. Forsaken doesn't have an overdrive available, so that Bucky is just going to be let in somewhere with the Nikes. A duel early in the tree.
Oh, tucked into the corner, and he's looking to get
What the fuck,
overwhelmed.
ya, son
Outside is
anjing.
overstepped. Up here at Arcade, not gonna find the shot there for Famous. Forsaken,
Now a weapon upgraded in ahead of that aftershock. Does get whittled away at down to 11.
Yeah, they could try and get the spike plant down here. You have to think about a lockdown. Maybe you have to drop the orbital to destroy that one.
Oh, but Batman dies right before it. They pull the trigger on that, so now working at a pretty big disadvantage, given that Forsaken's eaten quite a bit of damage here. Jing has since been passed over the weapon, looking on that angle, but Berserk's just outsprang. Not suffering any damage. The Vandal not getting through as Berserk finds another something now dead. And it's just Devi around the back with his Sheriff to try to make it a little bit costly. And then he can't find the kill.
It happens. It happens to the best of us. It's okay. It was an eco at the end of the day for Prx, but a bit of an investment with the Orbital Strike, I will say. Trading out for the lockdown of Berserks. Again, though, boom. Clean rounds breed confidence here for the Wolfpack. So tying things up 3-3, looking to take the lead now as well against the eventual buyout that'll come back for Prx. In a round where there's no massive setup to come through on the defensive side. It's got to be those later adjustments and figuring out how to go for those retakes. Now, see the new strategies yet again for this tree control.
I'd rather win.
FT ults to try to contend with. By a side, Prx still going to be in a little bit of a rough spot as that's unassisted. Forsaken goes in, dies. Famous peeks. Padman dies.
So far, so good for Boom.
Excellent. Well, that's not going to do much of anything there. Puts the fear I got into him with the shorty. Lets him know that this tower position not going to be easily breached. Devi able to find Shiro, but swiftly falls NC Slasher. Famous watching the ropes. Goes ahead, cleans up Jing. Famous, he's going to go for it. Oh, flash out, maybe not.
I mean, it's just another scenario where you're going together as a team, making sure you're not giving something an opportunity.
Smoke's down.
Doesn't see him, doesn't see the spike. Something just going to be sat in position, but these jiggle peaks going to be the pain of his existence here. Too many angles to try to clear out. Once again.
30 seconds left.
What do you even say?
Yeah.
You just do it time and time again. Okay, there we go.
It's like when you're playing like some kind of horror game and you see that the creatures are spawned in.
Yeah.
But they haven't like
Seen you
activated
yet,
yet.
yeah.
So, but you just kind of like see them around the corner. You're like, oh.
And then you still get jump
I have
scared.
to go in there. Like, I don't want to do this.
Well done though from Boom, I will say, right? A good little grasp on how they need to be peeking around this one. For Famous, how many times do we see the operator just having to come online for some really good successes for the team of Boom? So it's good to see that they're able to repeat that time and time again. This time, DOS9 not losing to Forsaken early in the round as well. So a couple of these little nuances that you want to adjust for Prx potentially, but for Boom, you want to keep happening now that you have slightly adjusted and taken the lead, forcing the timeout here for Prx.
Well, first one that they've had to call here today. Stand by singular round, but it's again about that activation, about that run back potential. I mean, we saw it from Talon, that 0-4 start into an overtime on Fracture itself.
Yeah.
Prx wanting to avoid a similar situation. And look to deliver the 2-0 that person's looking for. This guy came from LA.
I came from Australia.
Actually, I didn't quite get the read what the verb was. Maybe they didn't.
That's all good. A couple of good retakes from Boom. Let's see what the plan is here for Prx, if at all anything, right? Because again, another scenario where a team is taking a timeout, not before a rifle round, but before a sort of investment round. Whether or not your game plan is to come in towards this one directly or the one after. Getting close to the lockdown for Devi as well, which can just be traded out by DOS9's Orbital Strike. Very disconnected play at the moment from Boom on this B site.
Turret getting activated. Drive popped, and then Forsaken is just sending it in towards the spawn, and he's almost gonna come away with two, and Devi's right there with the follow-up. Jing considers it, pulls off the angle there at the end. The Boom bot not gonna be lasting too long, but now a timing here on this lockdown. Placed in front of Jen, but Shiro looking to try to catch them by surprise. Swinging the corner, finds the first. Looks to try to clear it out. Something bails them out. Gets that kill. Now it's on Famous.
2 lawan 1 ya.
A Vandal versus 2 Sheriffs, both players full HP. A flash, a molly between them. Reposition. Default line now. Sent. The stun connecting. And something just swinging around the back. Catching him by surprise. Thrifty gets pulled off here off the back of the timeout call. Paper X tie us up at 4-4.
Maybe that timeout was for what to do when that sort
Udah
of
gacha emang belum kok.
towards the B side.
Baru
You
kayak
remove a lot of that killjoy utility. You remove DOS 9 first, so you don't have an orbital strike
3.000
into the
gitu ya.
lockdown. That's a disgusting shot. Not needed in this game. Great work from Shiro, I will admit, in attempt to bring something back for Boom. Wasn't able to get the lockdown done, but 2 kills, providing his teammate into a 1 versus 2, maybe manageable situation.
I think that it's rounds like that that kind of just show the development of Paper X across the stage, considering how things had begun.
Yeah.
You know, I think back to the start, they were losing every round they committed ults in.
Yeah.
Regardless of weaponry.
They just looked lost and disconnected a lot of the time.
But now well utilized to be able to find themselves a thrifty win. Forsaken looking like he's suspicious about this potential position here, but now is at risk of getting caught. Will. Gonna be the orbital that takes him down. Nice little trap play set up from the side of Boom as gun barrel gets spotted out. Jing still able to find 1 before getting picked apart.
Yeah, you still are at a deficit though as Paper X here. Into the site.
Plant committed to Divine with the operator, not something that we get to see nearly as much these days.
Samping lang naman.
Maybe once Sunset comes back into the mix. For now, we'll have that in hand. Overdrive in the charge of Shiro. Very suspicious about this smoke. Something just trying to stay tucked, and so far has not been flushed out. The jump forward, looks to try to steady it, can't quite make it happen, but has done a significant amount of damage. Dawes 9 at 30 HP.
Yo,
Famous,
fuck.
however, on the peak,
What an
instantaneous.
angle.
Finding Devi, leaving Patman now to try to clutch it out. Finds the first, back pedals, has a fault line, even has a rolling thunder. And he's not going to be shy about it, it would seem. Taps the door. Fault line set. Famous not sticking to it, as it's going to be another Red Bull clutch. Patman instant finds that and gets Paper X back into a lead.
From that 3 versus 4 when the spike plant goes down as well, Devi with the operator managing to at least establish 1. It's unfortunate but that Berserk loses his life when Jing is spotted out there as well, but it's just the trade game, right? It's making sure that the trades, that you're on top of them. Nice idea for the one-way smoke, makes things a little bit awkward, but some good repositioning from Patman, not wanting to give a duel. I think that's really important for a player like him coming into this roster, wanting to prove himself, wanting to be part of the team. So far, so good. Liking what I'm seeing.
Showstopper, Rolling Thunder, no ults to speak of here for the moment for Boom. 3 more rounds to be played in the half. Need to cycle these up. Will it take, does get NC Slasher, recharges away. Fast lane, just cutting every single player from the Boom side away from the site.
Guardian and a Judge here for DOS 9 and Berserks. But Berserk's still on the other side of the map.
Oh, scan, finding Forsaken, but Devi finding NC Slasher at drop. Second player working forward, Famous, trying to put that Sheriff to good use, but can't quite find the hit, can't quite find the head. Jing all the meanwhile ready to just send that Showstopper should it be needed, but right now it is looking like they won't have to. Push forward, the crunch coming in, Forsaken trying to wide swing there.
Don't think he expected him to have a Judge.
Yeah, I think he misjudged the weapon.
Ah ha ha ha.
Yeah,
Nicely done.
All right, I'm gonna jump off the balcony.
Please don't do that. I need a co-caster here.
My legs deserve to be broken after that joke. Anyway, yeah, don't think he read that one quite so well, but it ultimately won't matter too much.
No, not a full investment to come in from them in this round for Boom, so they'll have that coming into the next one, which is now playing catch-up, right? 6-4, the half is at least established for Paper X in tie or in lead.
Anjing, something toprak tok.
Operator out for both sides as well, Devi still retaining that one. Immediate utility going to be forcing them back out of main unless they want to wait to contest it, which is what Forsaken's going to be doing here. Immediate rotations too for Boom.
coming through, and Jing. Uncharacteristic whips, doesn't even find much damage. Shiro really losing a tiny smattering of armor. Site still does get taken, plant coming in, Rolling Thunder held. But Armageddon, I don't think that Batman's gonna be able to get away from this one. Oh, he's barely slides out. What a narrow window.
No, something. Bad position.
And now he's got the Rolling Thunder at the ready. Orbital Strike will start. Forcing back NC Slasher from drop. Something swinging up towards Sand. Ends up getting taken down as Divine. Finding one with the op, eating a flash. Rolling Thunder holds the rest of the team back. 2v3, looking for the smoke timing. Forsaken,
Wait.
finding the headshot.
Wait.
And they're just picking their targets and nailing them.
Yellow Batman anjing.
Game so far.
Oh yeah. No, 100% he's just getting involved in all of these duels. He's making sure the flashes are on point for the team and the aftershocks to buy time as well. You look at the Armageddon placement in that one from Shiro. Had he reversed it and had it from the site on out towards main, maybe you're looking at a little bit of a different scenario in flushing the team into the open instead of containing them to be stuck in towards the site. Never really know in the sort of situation like that which way would be more valuable though. 7-5 is what Boom will be chasing for the last round of this half. A couple of valuable ults. Same utility to be poised at the front
Kalah
of
karena
A,
apa?
which they'll actually invest
Kepedean.
quite a significant amount of numbers toward.
Last round of the half, and it's bound to be a pretty chaotic one based on what we're seeing at the moment, but
Gene Showstopper, I imagine.
they're taking their time with this one. Waiting for contact, waiting for info. Drone on the corner.
Yeah, I am noting that Devi is one away from a lockdown, by the way. They can pivot towards Tree if they want. Turret hasn't spotted anything, but still staying around A.
Showstopper opened up, blast forward. Two players over here at Sands. It's going to be NC Slasher taken down. As Dostine actually avoiding damage. Looked like it was going to at least be a bit of splash there. In the end, somehow, only a 1-for-1. Lockdown now. Tempo use sent over on B. Keeping Prx locked away for the time being. A couple seconds remaining. They can tuck in over towards tower, avoid the detain, and then look to try to get the spike in play.
3 members now here for Boom as well. Don't want to flood in before the plant goes down.
30 seconds left.
Retap it. Oh, just a spray through. Berserk's able to find him. Forsaken. Massacres too. Divine out. Sights back over. Lockdown is brought forward. And Berserk's has his work cut out for him.
Oh, something's quite low.
Takes the first step.
He knows where they've gone.
Alarm bot, yeah. Gets the trigger there. Something escaping forward into tower.
Beverly
1
nyampe.
HP, as you say. No utility between them. Just a turret. It's just going to be the blind push into tower. Berserk is able to find it. Might just be able to bring this back into their favor. The tap, the scale forward. Forsaken, though. The perfect place at the perfect time, a 3K. As it's going to be 8-4. Prx out in front once again here at the half.
A big stringing of rounds at the end of that one for Prx too. You think it's a pretty early contest that we're seeing between these two teams with a lot of backwards and forwards. And I mean, the round count kind of doesn't give you the full story in this one, does it? Because there's been a pretty lot of close rounds, close scenarios where a single engagement going the other way could have spelled a different result for the round. On this map though, Forsaken and Jing not getting too involved a lot in a lot of these fights to win them, so it's good to see that Forsaken, at least at the end of that one, is getting the right timing for the kill there, playing a lot more of the distractor and space creator on this map as opposed to the real kill collection.
Hey! Who's showing up today? Oh, we got even more. Fairlawn yet chilling out, cheering on. Boom, it would seem here perhaps, or maybe even just a former Prx
Waiting
from
to see who we might have to challenge later as well.
Woo!
It's market research, you know?
Xero.
Yeah, just on the ground, just seeing what's going on, trying to figure everything out. Which one's more impactful? Well, we haven't seen some things yet today, so
not today.
I think by default you have to give it the Jing there.
I mean, yesterday there was a really good to the moon rise up between the maps and the changes, but yeah, Jing Rays today, map number 1, gorgeous. Map number 2, room for improvement. But together as a team, Prx are certainly looking to get the job done. 8-4 at the half with Prx now going on to this defensive side, though for Boom. casting more eyes towards them to see what they're going to be able to do here. Of course, 5-0 in group stage, coming in with the first seed, skipping the early stage of this bracket, losing the first one. If they lose this one 2-0 as well, that's very hurtful.
Just one on the north side. Nice set there for now. As Famous jumping forward here. Hall's in control of Boom completely and utterly, but that's going to go ahead and call for a 3-player push out from that B side, but Berserks just had it aligned but couldn't quite find that final shot. Still does an immense amount of damage, finds the kill on the Jing, opens things up here for the team. DOS9, however, going to be overwhelmed here at the attacker's spawn. He's taken down with the spike now planted.
Something does have 3 Sky Smokes as well. Put them to his heart's content.
Tap at the door, the bounce forward. Shiro, great readjust. Finds something. He's taking Shiro, and NC Slasher is going to be taken down. Now it's just sliding Neons. Right at each other, but Famous comes out on top. The tap at the spike. The Sheriff from the buy, and he hits him right between the eyes. Every single pistol.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Not a single pistol to come through for Boom in this one. And that just, how difficult does it make it here?
It's such a good start as well. Nearly finding that second and
the last
shot. Far too clean.
Yeah. Dot crosshair accuracy on that one. Do like to see it. He's had his moments in this map. Nothing too super stellar, but a couple of big frags with that operator earlier, with the Sheriff just there as well, an important one. It's a force up, though, with the plant going down for Boom.
In a huge way. Glass Cannon Bulldog.
Yeah.
Jing around the corner. Putting some damage through there. Patman swinging in, trying to reinforce this position. DOS9, however, is able to collect 2. Opens things up a bit, while Berserks, Glass Cannon, coming up with value.
Getting cheeky.
Tries to slide up into the smoke. Forsaken still slow walking in the halls with that outlaw.
DOS9 holding for it, though.
Forsaken finding the first shot. Can he pick up the weapon? He's going to look to do so. Ends up dying, though. Berserks from drop. Finding it. Something now. Has to try to pull this one off. Shiro, salvos at the ready. There's the tap. Forcing it back away, guaranteeing that there's just not going to be enough time. Berserks will end up falling. There's something. Collecting the 2 kills. We'll get a couple extra charges up towards his ultimate, as well as retain the weapon. And that is Boom with a much needed thrifty answer back. It's a force up here. Force by victory of their own.
Yeah, one of the more needed rounds for them to stave off any further lead for Prx here, just getting down and dirty in those duels, right? A lot of trades to come on out. Berserk's just scoping and bursting, thinking an opportune situation in the 2 versus 2. The fact that he's just able to remove Forsaken on that slide, and they've got salvos in the back lanes waiting for the spike tap. Yeah, the right members doing the right things for Boom in that round. Big tree approach.
Oh. Whiff on the first, hit on the second. Not much damage going to be taken. Devi dead. One of the side anchors now gone here.
You can see Boom fall to play with the numbers together as well here. There's a bit of weaponry on the side of Prx still. Forsaken with that now Outlaw. Something with the Phantom from the last round. You are really spread across the map as Prx, so taking the initiative to clear some parts of the map. They can further extend and clear all of north side and have to turn back towards A as the stealth drone goes out. Sky Smoke to buy a little bit of time, and you're now fully clearing north side. So it should be the idea for Prx that it is A, and they will now know with all this util.
Fast lane set, Patman dropping down, getting tucked in towards default. Slide forward, he's gonna get caught up into the crossfires. Famous does get taken down, Patman joining in alongside something, finding the kill, but double push out of the smoke, and Berserk's good for 1. Jing, Sheriff shot to the space. Finds another.
Jason ya, menang lagi Jason.
It's Forsaken.
But it's a hard spot to take a retake from.
Dia bunuh DOS9 duluan.
For a reposition to try to grab a gun, perhaps. Just a Sheriff at drop. Goes down, finds first.
Huh?
Oh no,
Huh?
it's full armor striking
Oh,
at the worst possible moment for him.
if it was the other way around, Shiro would have been done, and then maybe you're looking for him to slide in and have a really good.
Tembak dua kali, Son. Tembak dua kali, Son.
That the kill would polish off his opponent there.
When the protagonist gets shot in the chest, but he had a Bible in his pocket. It caught the bullet and it kept him safe. Oh boy, well, still close, you can tell. Prx.
Oh, 150 armor.
They themselves not in the best position.
Mati gila dua kali.
The way that this is going, though, we're going to have a pretty stacked ultimate round
Prediksi
soon.
gue udah bener itu tadi. Jason nembak sekali doang.
North side approach for Boom now, full clearing arcade.
Dia pikir mati, low. Yang low Shiro.
Bit of a slow peek in towards A main for Prx. The further they go, the more info that they get. Together as a team as well, recognize that, well, no one's going to be here. So similarly, like last round, they got all of the north side control. Now you flip it for the south side. And also mean on the other way that Boom can just get into the A site, almost scot-free, see that no one's home. Have some time to set up for a post plant here.
Oh, nice banget nih setupnya.
Everything wide
Nice
open.
banget dapat side-nya dari drop.
Door left unlocked, and Boom looking to just make themselves right at home. Jing though, nice shot, finds the kill there on a famous, but NC Slasher coming away with 2. As well as finding an immense amount of damage on the Jing before getting taken down by the Showstopper. Something trying to steady those shots, but DOS9 a little bit faster with it. Finds the headshot, keeps him with the advantage.
Alah.
And Defy is still at B with a judge.
Yeah, and they already noted where Jing was as well with the Showstopper, right? So this round is pretty much just done and dusted.
He's gonna try to juggle the weapon over here to his teammate. Get the upgrade, will be able to do so. And that's gonna be them going for a save. Boom. Looking to claw this back 3 rounds consecutively. Gonna be just 2 away from tying it up.
Essentially, the delayed bonus rounds coming into this one as well, right?
Yeah,
So,
we're finally getting there.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's talking about this track by track for Prx, but what about Boom? I mean, they're slowly starting to figure out what they need to do on this attacking side. The next gun round is going to be a really important one for them to get through. And then if you also consider that the ultimates are going to start to really come online soon as well, if they're able to navigate their way through that one pretty cleanly, or even Scrappily was still winning the round, I mean, they're setting themselves up to try and tie things up.
That's going to be the second timeout call you would suspect here from Prx. There you go. Alex on the try to get them up to that double-digit point here. Try to get over the finish line. Last time out worked a treat for them. They went on a massive streak. So go ahead and close out that opening half as well as get the pistol. See if that can happen again. Otherwise, Boom. Just gonna get closer and closer to trying to take us to that third and final map of Ascent.
I mean, you look at it for the past 2 maps as well, right? With the exploration to come out from Prx, they've kind of just picked the wrong corner of the map. Like,
Please lah 2-0 biar gue cair.
Where Boom have just gone in towards the site and tried to set things up for the end. So if they're getting a bit of a contest early on, maybe they would feel a little bit more comfortable in trying to get through the battles. As the timeout now fades away, see what things are going to look like for Prx with just the 2 guns retained from the previous round. Some upgrades for the rest of the squad with the pistols.
Well, they got themselves a thrifty in the last time out. Don't have the ultimates to back it up quite as much this time around. One away from an overdrive here is Forsaken as well as something with the orbital strike.
Yeah, Berserk is just waiting for contact on the turret to skedaddle on out of here. Bot line will do the same.
And spot him out. Steadily escapes. In the meantime, a sight once again going to be the target. The push forward getting ready to come through. Something trying to watch the angle here with that Sheriff. The push out. It's going to be Divide with the Phantom. He's able to catch him by surprise. Dancing around the wall here is Forsaken. To the opposite side finds NC Slasher, and Prx are doing it again. He's got the Outlaw, but now they have it confirmed. Spike picked up.
Spike planted.
Berserk has to go absolutely crazy, and it'll just be whizzing right past Patman's ear. Prx off the back of the timeout will find themselves another thrifty win. And now get up to double digits.
I'm sure a lot of teams would like to know what gets discussed in these sort of scenarios from Prx to come out with just the magic.
What's the magic?
In the thriftiest round that they come out with after these timeouts. I mean, the 5 versus 3 that they set themselves up for. DOS9 tries to really drag them down.
Cheer.
By then, you feel like the
Batman
damage is
sakit
already done.
banget anjing.
Duelist action trying to come in from Jing and Forsaken. You know, we've kind of switched up our players who were having a stellar map 1 and a abysmal map 1, haven't we, as well? When you look at Berserks, right? He was absent in map 1, now he's having a bit of a banger. But as you say, Prx are the team here to find double digits first.
I'm kind of curious to see, no timeout call here from Boom. Twice now, giving up these thrifties. No assessment. Try to at least steady the nerves of the players. Maybe as far as comps are concerned, they seem right as rain, but they're now just 3 round losses away from being eliminated from Stage 1 playoffs.
Yeah, massive pressuresome environment for them in their first endeavors in towards VCT Pacific. Stage 1. Creep up in towards A main. Util to flush Patman away, to push Forsaken back, who has brought an operator to the party here. Just a slower paced round from everybody. Got the lurk from Berserks as well, Northside Arcade. Just being very patient, not overstepping.
Hard to blame them slowing down after the previous bit of damage there on the Divide. Forsaken though, quick, picking in, yeah. Damn fast with it, finds NC Slasher. And now, Boom, they don't know which way to go. They have 30 seconds.
And what do? You need to have your lurk start to activate, but it's being noted.
Spotted Jing just on top of Jen. Pops his head, and now it's a go button, but they're losing the plot. Divide able to find one. Shiro fighting back.
Ulti.
Might just give them the opportunity here to try to get the plant down. The Armageddon going to be called in, but the orbital strike is there in response from something, but it's a hair off the mark. Shiro narrowly able to stay alive. Rolling Thunder.
Nice.
Spray eventually rewarded.
DOS9 ada ulti tapi nih.
As DOS9.
Ini yang seru nih.
He has been a god incarnate in the past
Ada
series
Molly.
that he has played.
Stick dong, Jason. Jason stick dong.
It's just going to be far too late. It arrives exactly where it needed to, but not when it was needed. Prx. They continue onward now 11-7.
Yeah, that's the sort of thing that I was
DOS9
actually
kenapa nggak ulti
wondering,
dulu?
out something for in the first half actually.
Ulti, lempar Molly. Alamak, Molly dulu.
Brimstone players having a lot of these quote unquote nerd
Baru main
lineups to be
Brimstone
able to
ente.
drop onto
Bagaimana?
the spike for the post-plant meta. DOS9 is just showcasing us that he's got the lineup, but the timing a little bit wrong. Generally, you would also see them coupled where you're dropping that incendiary, you're doing the orbital strike first, and then it buys the sky time for it to land, and then you're affording yourself essentially 12 seconds total, 13, 14 on the tail end too. Hey, we saw Big Time be signed by...
yeah, he got signed on the cheek with Tens. So, well, and that just says Boom. So I think that just implies every single player.
member?
So, gonna have to, tiny font.
Tiny font. Here's your timeout though.
I think there's an opportunity here. Everyone keeps going with the track by track.
Yeah.
I think that if you wanted to, if you have somebody who's very good at editing GIFs, you could take a bunch of scenes from Snowpiercer, edit Prx on top of them, and then say car by car. They're fighting their way up to the front of the train, rather than building the track in front of them.
You know, I had nightmares on that when the arm was shattered.
Oh, yeah.
I had some nightmares after that.
It's a brutal one.
Let us see, though, on the back of that timeout, if Boom are going to be able to come away with, we'll call it the magic that Prx had after their timeout to come with the Thrifty.
Jing. Classic little setup here, but no one home to...
This is ambitious.
Destroyed by it. Forsaken is about to be rewarded! How does he get away with that? Even into a half buy. And Jing now finds Famous.
That's just blasphemy there. DOS9 didn't deserve it. No smokes, no orbital. Famous down as well. Makes things very difficult to come back in this round when you've also got Dish being looked after by the Killjoy utility. Now spotted out. 3 versus 5 on a lesser buy. Map point, 5 of them, series point rather. If this gets dropped, So with a rotation towards the A site now, it is the lesser defended one. So that's a plus for Boom. Now not so much though.
Slow on the approach, just trying to keep it quiet. About to be a 3v3 towards this side of the map. But clear out Berserk's pushing forward, trying to take some forward space, but Eclipse is going to be found, and there's the stun.
Batman.
Swinging out.
Beda
So damn
sini
snappy
orang.
with it, finds the headshot.
Cek dulu something, check your corner.
Stingers in their hands,
Batman yang
forced
ngecek.
into the open by the
Awesome.
molly, and he can only deliver one. What a round response here from Prx. Off the back of the timeout from Boom, the magic is not found. They get up now to match point, and that is a gut punch to this Indonesian squad.
Yeah, I mean, in the first half, after the timeout, it was
Anjir,
flawless
apaan sih?
for Prx, and now it's still flawless after the timeout here as well. 12-7, it's 5 series points that Boom are going to have to contend through to push us into overtime. Otherwise, they will be bowing out in this playoffs stage. Still securing a lot of championship points in their journey to continue to stay in Pacific when you think about what the Ascension teams have placed on them too. But they don't want to bow out here.
Just 2 series away after a first seed. A brutal position now for Boom to be in. Jing, this time not able to get a glimpse. Famous does manage to slide across the bottom of the rope undetected.
But what can he do more importantly? Dubai is being very careful about the rope.
Bye-bye. Hey!
Gun barrel
Hey!
spotted. Can't confirm who it is. They might have a sneaking suspicion, though. Still a bit of info gained, and Divine out spotting out even more. 2 players on this side of the map. The Nanoswarm going to be disrespected. Famous trying to run him down. The shorty drawn out, but a tiny bit of damage going to be found. That paint shell, however, might find more as Jing, position given up, shifts forward towards Arcade, and eventually will be found. Berserk comes away with it. Something trying to go off a timing, but
Apa yang ting?
Famous
Hah?
is a little bit faster. For
Something.
now.
Hey, apa ini?
Sliding forward.
Ting.
I mean, it's just getting shot by the turret behind. But do they realize that he's in this spot? Seems like the answer is no. Elbow taken off, Famous 5 HP. The off would be overkill, and it will not find the chance. As Patman now a 1v4 clutch to try to bring this to a conclusion. A couple shots in, but ultimately will decide to back away.
Got to also consider that Boom need to be managing their economy throughout this journey to get back towards this map too. So they don't necessarily have to hunt, but it looks like they want to. I mean, you're not getting closer to any ultis here too much. If they lose anything. Oh, Pamet has just jiggled out of that one. I don't know how he's managed to do that. After all the great shots from Boom in that round, that's the one that gets away.
Yeah. Slippery snake able to escape there.
Yeah, but it's 1 round. It's 1 round to answer back with, at least for Boom. Very patient in the beginning, trying to find the right timing to get up the tower. I like it from them. Some, you know, not generally something that you're trying to, you know, practice and reiterate time and time again, those sort of things. It's just trying to figure out individually what you can communicate to the team. More control against Jing, trying to spot what he can on top of the smoke, and it's
the catch. Tried it previously. He had Berserks hiding in the smoke, but this time somebody takes the bait. Showstopper, lockdown available to try to close this out, and with DOS9 dead, that orbital, that counteraction to this Killjoy ultimate is now gone.
I mean, you just got to consider how to Boom get back in towards a site as well. You're going to have to rely on Famous with a good fast lane, with some good timing of NC/'s fault line to off-put another angle.
Something. Oh, what a catch! Doesn't squander it. Overdrive here from Famous, doesn't manage to find one, but Jing takes down Shiro. The Showstopper at the ready. Famous at tower, sends it to the side. Nothing gonna be found there, but lockdown just to create some more shallow angles. Jing trying to counter swing out, eventually finds it. It's all down to the Slasher, and he cannot make it happen. Padman is there, finds the finisher, and the track will kick.
Good game Prx ya. Tapi whatever it is, you know, banggalah kita sebagai orang Indonesia ya. Boom bisa masuk ke playoff ya. Ente Boom, congrats Prx. Nggak apa Boom, nice try. Gutran lah menurut gue, gutran banget. Boom di Pasifik. Tim yang tadinya harusnya enggak ke Korea, bos. Bisa main kayak gitu menurut gue nice run. Nah guys, gue mau caw dulu kalau gitu. Gue beres-beresin barang. Insya Allah nanti main ya. Bye guys, bye guys. RRQ, gue RRQ. Iya, RRQ, very RRQ sih gue. Thank you guys, thank you guys.